Sandstone slab, which I don't have here. Sandstone slab. Alright, we do need trapdoors. Let me stick one there. Wait, where did that go? I just put a... Oh, this is... Okay, I see. We can't put the ladder here because redstone. How do we do this? How do we decide where to put... Oh, I just broke a track, didn't I? How do we decide where to put the trapdoors? In front? That's a long way down. I guess we put it here or something. Oh, we didn't decide where to put this because this is the first regional link we ever built, right? So we're actually designing this on the fly. Maybe I should put it behind, actually. Well, no, because there's redstone there. Nope. Put it in front. I think if I put the door there, it will open when the redstone goes past. Actually, let me just check. If I do that and do that, oh, it doesn't activate. Okay. Oh, there's a tunnel too. You're gonna have to design a tunnel. One of us is gonna design a tunnel. This, which, there. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, let's not. Let's maybe not do that. But there's no good place to put this if I don't do that. I guess we can like do that and that. That's also fine, right? So traveling, like being out of a familiar environment. And also, I guess like the thing with like meeting other cultures is you see that they have other ways of accomplishing the same objectives, which I think is important because it makes you realize that there's more than one way to do things. I think food is an easy one. Why you can't put that on glowstone? right? Like, there's so many different ways of doing food, and most of them are delicious. So, some of them are a bit dubious, but most of the ways of doing food are delicious. And so you've learned the idea that there are many different ways to be correct, right? There's a lot of different ways to make delicious food. And sometimes they're like mutually contradictory, like you can't. Oh crap! Some foods don't work with each other, but they are delicious on their own, or when combined with other things. It's just like a you don't like, difference is not just bad. Q says, speak for yourself. Deep fried Mars bars of Scotland is revolting as in haggis. You know, no, but that's the thing, like, some things are revolting to specific people. I hate tofu, by the way. I hate tofu. I haven't tried haggis. Yeah, I don't know, what's the deal with haggis anyway? Like, why would anyone do that? Haggis seems bizarre, but anyway, not all food is delicious, but a lot of food is delicious. Some foods are a bit dubious. Foxplay says deep fried Mars bars are delicious. See, everyone has opinions. But there's no clear right or wrong, right? I mean, haggis. Everybody agrees that haggis is wrong. I actually need to. Maybe I should try it. I should just try haggis. Try and figure out what on earth they were thinking. So why would you do that? Language is a bit more complicated, but language also has a similar concept in that there are so many different languages and people communicate with them perfectly fine, and yet nobody understands other languages that they're not familiar with. So languages is one of these things, like, everybody has like a different language, or no, a lot of people have different languages, and they're completely incompatible, and yet every language functions. That's an interesting thing to wrap your head around. Q says blood pudding. Blood is a great source of nutrients. Or is that blood pudding I'm thinking of? Haggis is the offal in stomach. Yeah, no, haggis is the offal in the stomach. Some of these foods is because back in the bad old days, nutrition was scarce and you had to eat pretty much everything. Or try to find nutrition. Try to get as much where's these breaking stuff? You're cutting off redstone. People had to like try to extract nutrients from as much stuff as possible. I think haggis might be that. It's like, how do you make the most of this animal and not throw anything away because we are poor and hungry and need to eat food? Is probably the story of haggis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, the Chinese people have this thing about fish heads, like we eat fish heads, which not a lot of other people do. I suppose that ends there, and that needs to be... That's strange. This is strange here. Let's say that is that. Q says, I got a complete fish for a meal when I was young, head included with eyeball. At that point I became a squeamish eater. I mean... yeah, no, Chinese people do that all the time. We just have, like, the whole fish. Which is a curious thing. Also, like, the Chinese like value fresh food, and part of the proof of freshness is that the whole fish is there, and that everything is still attached. So try to wrap your head around this logic here. So we obviously, if food is not fresh, you might get food poisoning, right? So we value fresh food, and a fish that's missing parts of it is most likely half rotten. Because it's falling apart. So the freshness of the fish is correlated with the completeness of the fish. And so we serve the entire fish on a plate. In a lot of Chinese restaurants, you'll find like the whole fish. And that's to prove that the fish has not fallen apart and it's not rotten. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do that there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not really just fish. Like roast entire pigs, for example. I'm not sure if I entirely agree with some of these customs. 4, 5, but anyway, that's the that's where these customs came from. But most people don't eat the eyeballs, Q. In fact, not everyone even eats the whole head. Like, the head is on the plate, but you're not really required to eat the head. Although you might, some people do. A minority of people actually quite enjoy the eyeball. I don't, and I'm not sure I understand why they enjoy the eyeball, but a minority of people actually quite enjoy the eyeball of the fish. I'm just gonna stick to the bottom half of this. This can probably be glass. Around there. Is this meant to do that? I guess it's meant to do that. Not that one. Actually, yes, that one. No, not that one. That's supposed to do that there. I didn't stick to the bottom. Although one of the things you learn eating the whole fish is you figure out how to deal with the bones. So if you don't just have a fillet... Alright, Thanos dances Wesley, cool. 1, 2, 3... you know what, let me just finish that there. 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4... And... I guess we finished that there. Does anyone feed entire fish to cats? Or anyone who know of people feeding entire fish to cats? Because traditionally, the Chinese, like when they feed their cats, they would just give them a whole fish. And the cats would get used to this, right? But if you try to feed a whole fish to a cat who's never eaten a whole fish before, they would choke on the bones because they don't understand. Or they won't even eat it. Like, you know, these days cats are used to just getting cat food. My mother used to have cats when she was young, and they would literally just have the whole fish, give the whole fish to the cat, and the cat would just clean all the meat off the bones. It was amazing. But I guess that the cat had like figured out how to do that over the years, right? Whereas now, if you feed a whole fish to a cat, most cats would just choke on the bones, and that would not be a good thing. That's probably meant to be that material. We want glass. This tree probably has to be cut back a little bit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6.